I've had some issues because I don't have a, what's the word? iPod. So you're resting on a bucket and a couple of books, and then I was trying to get the phone to stand up correctly, and yeah, it took me a few minutes. So here we are on the balcony, got a nice big palm tree just there, and there's some entertainment going on just out of sight, literally just there. I think, oh, here's a bloody aeroplane. Don't know you want me to see it. I'm not going to move the phone because I might not get it back. Bloody aeroplanes! I might not get it back in the right place. Hey Scott. Yeah, so just over there, just slightly out of shot, is a, I don't know if it's a bar. I didn't even spot it before, but they've got some singing going on. Hey Matt, Matt's here, question incence, and Scotty Bean. Yeah, so there was initially an Elvis singer who was okay, and now we've got a lady singing. She's pretty good, and I like the tunes actually, a little bit old-fashioned stuff. Hey Eugene. It says hello Clarice. Hey Mel, hello, you escaped the foggy UK. Yeah, I am here in Tenerife. You can tell, definitely not the UK. And I've had 5 days here, go home tomorrow, and I've had a very relaxing time. So cheers. Some lipstick on my cup there. Sacred Flows here, hello, how's Tenerife? It's been really lovely actually, quite windy today. But still sunny. Hey Rich Mitch. Drawn by. Hello again, looks very nice. It's actually really nice little view from the balcony really. You've got some roads and stuff, but it's nice to have all the lush greenery and the tropical trees and stuff. So yeah, that's good. It's in the shade actually, this balcony, if I want to be critical. Hey Heather. And Elise is here. Hello Alicia, and love the palm tree, says Sacred Flow. Yeah, if I want to moan about anything, and I'm not, this balcony doesn't really get much sun. Maybe in the afternoon a little bit, but not in the morning. Quite like to sit in the morning sun and have a coffee, but doesn't matter. It's hardly that important. The drink of the night, I have some vodka and coke, local vodka. I'll show you it in case you're interested. I wouldn't have chosen this, but it was the last bottle of vodka in the shop, and it's called Eureka. And it's not, I don't think it's even triple distilled. I certainly don't talk about the being triple distilled, and I'm normally very fussy about that. However, it's actually pretty good. It was cheap, I can't remember how cheap, but my whole shopping came to 20 euros with this litre of vodka in it, and I had quite a few other bits. So very cheap, actually tastes okay, doesn't have that horrible, nasty taste that you get with cheap vodka. So quite impressed. It's lasted me the whole 5 days. So yeah, still got loads left. There's some left for the cleaner, which is good. What's everyone up to? Let's have a look at your comments. Palm tree is giving you a little hat in the style of Carmen Miranda. Hello again everyone. Hurrah for 2 lives in 1 day, says Maddie. Hurrah indeed, hurrah. So today, if you didn't see my live stream earlier, today I took a walk along the coastline. Hey Tony, took a walk along the coastline, and because of the weather, it's a bit rough, a bit windy today. The sea is really, really rough, and it's just so fun to watch the waves, massive waves crashing, and getting the sea spray in my face, and yeah, it was really, really good. And then I went for, got a pineapple on my head, yeah. And then I had some lunch. I actually had a really nice lunch. I don't normally get a proper lunch when I'm on a holiday. I tend to have a snack type thing, but as it was my last day, I got a proper lunch in this nice little square. And I had, they didn't actually have about 3 things I tried to order they didn't have. And I ended up with a pork fillet that had all these crispy onions on top, like a big pile of gorgeous crispy onions on top, some, I think it was some pesto, some garlicky green stuff, and a salad. It didn't have the chips, so you know, there's something. And it was really good, but I could only eat half of the pork. It was like, it was literally that big. I think Tony would approve. Like, it was a big piece of meat. And it was delicious, and I had a large beer with it as well. Hey Jimbo says 2 lives in one day. And I still got a slight garlicky taste in my mouth despite cleaning my teeth. You know what it's like. And so yeah, lunch was lovely, and then I walked back to here, and I had probably a couple of hours by the pool. Love a big bit of pork, says Tony. But it was a bit windy, and I started to get a bit chilly. So even though it's sunny, it's, you know, the wind was a bit much. So in the end, I came back here, thought I'd have my shower early, had a mint tea, because I thought I'm not going to start drinking, I'm going to have a mint tea first, so I'm good. Then I put, yeah, and then I got ready to do a live, so put my phone on charge for a little bit, and had a couple of drinks on the balcony. Finished the book I was reading. I talked about that on Instagram. The what's it called? Where the Crawdads Sing. And I finished that, and that was a really good book. I highly recommend it. I won't say too much, but really, really good. One of the best books I've read in a long time. I finished that, and then I think whenever I finish a book, I don't feel quite ready to start another one. So I didn't read any more after that, and then I've got more books, so I'll start reading again tomorrow, because I like to read when I'm traveling. I think it really breaks it up. Sitting on the plane reading, that's yeah, I like to do that. So I've got a couple of books to choose from. I think I've got the one picked out that I'm going to go for. It's like it looks like an easy read, like a chick lit type thing. I can't remember what it's called. I think I got it in a charity shop or something. I might have got it, I don't know. So do tell me what you are wearing. I'm wearing 3 fragrances. So I decided to call this Perfumes I Took to Tenerife or something like that, because then I've got something to talk about. So I've got them here, and there's not actually very many. I'm wearing 3 of them. So we start with the left wrist, which is, it's over here. Oh, I've got some food to show you in a minute as well, and I know Tony will like this. It's not the most amazing food, but I thought I'd show you anyway. Material for Tina tonight. Tina's planning on wearing material from Amouage tonight. Very nice. Right, yeah, so left wrist, it's just a decant, so not too much to see. Mekong by Teone Reinthal, and this is a decant I bought some from Daniel Joy off of Wafts from the Loft, because I did a little joint order, and said to Dan if he's up for it, I'd quite like to buy a little decant of Mekong, and he was kind enough to let me do that. So Mekong, I don't actually know the official notes, but it's a very fresh, feels like citruses, maybe something green, and maybe some sort of like white flowers. So it doesn't sound that interesting, but it is, and I think there's probably some deeper, darker notes in there, because it really lasts very, very well, considering it smells so fresh. But it's not fresh as in bitter, it's got a little sweetness to it. But yeah, I'm guessing there might be some touches of, I don't really know, nothing I can really pick out, but maybe some, could be that there's some labdanum or a little bit of patchouli or something that's very grabby, you know, because it really lasts really well. It smells so natural, obviously because it is natural, but it just really works well in a sort of warmer environment. And I loved it the other day because I wore it, and I've been wearing it all day long, and then I got to the pool in the afternoon, mid-afternoon, got in, and then as I was swimming around, the water reactivated it and it was like pushing out again, and it was so nice. I was just swimming and floating around, and this smell of mekong was coming up to my nose, and it was so natural and so lovely. So I really enjoyed that. So I've worn that pretty much every day, either as my main scent or as like a one wrist jobby, as you do. Who does one wrist job? Let me know. Let it fall on the floor, so I'm going to put it on the floor, because that would be really sad. Let's have a look, see. Okay, so Tony was I'm wearing Ugly Arc, which I'm in love with, but Beck says I smell like an old man. Show the food. Okay, the food is coming, the food is coming. Heather has a spritz of Minuet et Demi on. How do you like it, Heather? Lizzie's here. Hey, Lizzie Bean. We've done Tina's material. Matt was wearing Mega Mare today, but it's family film night this evening, so went for Pardon after my evening soak. And Jimbo, one umbrella for two, gorgeous, love that. Love the palm hat, says Lizzie. And Alicia's wearing a mixture of 4-1 Tuesdays British Summer, similar to Histoire de Parfum one, that's Barbershop, vanilla one, and Spellbinder, similar-ish to Bois d'Harmonie. Oh, I love Bois d'Harmonie, so that sounds good. Maddie's wearing Bean from And Fragrances, a gorgeous, rich, tonka heavy fragrance. Drawn by was on the Lulu, but now on Chopard Oud Malachite. That's actually really nice. I have tried that. Not that oudy, or not even oudy from memory, but really nice, yeah. Washing dishes with decent rubber gloves, Siage. Heather, regarding Minuet et Demi, I like it, don't need a bottle, just enjoying what I have. Yeah, that's cool. I've got a decant of that. Quite nice, but not, same here, don't need to buy it. Sacred Flow, I finally got Annabelle's birthday cake and I'm getting addicted to, isn't it addictive? Yeah, it's so addictive. I love the, I don't know, powdery deliciousness of it. Okay, right, so the other wrist I have, and this one I've not spoken about for ages, and I don't speak about it because you can't get it anymore, and it's Powder and Dust from Sven, well, SP Parfum, Sven Fritz Collect. Still love this. I've always loved this from the moment I first tried it. And I did wear, I remember once I took one of these on a holiday with my friend Debbie. I think it was with Debbie, yeah. And that was like the main fragrance I wore for the whole holiday, just trying to build up like a scent memory. And yeah, I thought I'll bring this on this holiday. And I do really love it. It's a pear fragrance. I think from memory the notes are pear, champagne, what else? Definitely some vanilla in here. It's a little bit sticky, but has a little freshness to it. Maybe some iris or something, but yeah, I really love it. I think it's amazing how the pear sticks around, because the pear's really difficult to make last. You need to give pear Viagra in a perfume kind of way. But yeah, I do still really love Powder and Dust. I don't know if it will ever come back again, because I know that Victor Wong bought the formula. However, there was a little bit of drama around that. So whether Victor will actually release a fragrance under a new animal, which will be Powder and Dust. I hope so, because I think it's beautiful, and I think people, I'd love more people to get to experience it, because I really love it. So good, so good. Really addictive for me. Really addictive. Hey, Hilary. Just hey, y'all. Hello, beautiful. Hey, heels. Love Powder and Dust, says Jimbo. Yeah, I'm really lucky. Sven was very, very generous and sent me I've probably got through a few bottles. I've still got, I think, 2 bottles, but he actually sent me, I've emptied at least 2, if not more, because he knew how much I loved it. So yeah, a bit of powder and dust going on. That's going on the floor as well in case it falls. That's the thing when you're in Spain, everything's tiles and hard. Floors are tiles, tables tiles. It's all tiled. Yeah, so if you haven't told me what you're wearing, do so now. Hilary said he mentioned it being cockatiel just the other day. Oh, okay, brilliant. Do you know what? That's such a good. I mean, it's such a colourful scent, isn't it? It's like, I can see that. Yeah. Oh, I hope he does then. That'll be really good. So the next fragrance I'm wearing is Paris Monte Carlo. This is the extract that Alicia kindly sent me as a set of Ylang Ylang Nosy Bee, and that was brand new, and I have used all of that this holiday. This literally 5 days I've used all of that. I do overspray. Not that you need to, bloody aeroplanes. Not that you need to, but I think it's one that does stick a little closer to the skin, particularly the extract. And the more you spray, then the more you have around you as you move around. It lasts amazingly well because I wore it, I think I applied it early evening, maybe 6-ish. And then the next day, 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm having my coffee and I can still smell it coming up from here. So really does last amazingly well. And I absolutely love it. And yeah, I'm getting through my Ylang Ylang Nosy Bee, my EDP bottle, and the extracts. The extracts I save to take on holiday, and they are the perfect holiday scent. Actually, I could easily just take that and nothing else because it's perfect day or night. It lasts even in the hot sunny weather. It lasts on my skin, and it doesn't smell too cloying, even though it's got quite a lot of vanilla in it. It's quite rich. It's never cloying. It's got that gorgeous exotic holiday feel, but not the tacky coconut type. I know some people love coconut. I'm just saying my own connotations when I smell coconut is it always goes to that smells a bit cheap. Don't know why. Well, I probably could articulate why, but I won't bore you with it. It might come down to some memories of certain products that I remember using when I was much younger and stuff like that. So coconut can, for me, even though I like the smell of it, but it can make me feel like it smells cheap. And the Ylang Ylang Nosy Bee does not smell cheap, doesn't smell coconutty. It just has this gorgeous exotic, rich, floral, and lots of rich, very natural smelling vanilla. No cupcake frosting type vanilla-y stuff. Very much an adult vanilla. I like it a lot. I love it. Let's have a look. Hilary is wearing Lancome Poem. Wow, a nice classic. Perhaps my most worn fragrance these days. It's really nice. I had a friend, my friend Lindsay, wore that on a night out probably a couple of years ago now, and she was getting compliments from fellas in the bar, and yeah, she smelled really good. I haven't really properly tried it myself. Itchy face. I'm starting to get out of breath, and that's because I'm slightly allergic to alcohol. I've talked about this before, not to any degree that it's going to kill me, but the more I drink, the more I get slightly stuffy and slightly out of breath. It's kind of sad that I carry on, really, isn't it? I'll definitely try Poem again now, Hills, now you say that. So I've got 2 more perfumes to talk about that I'm not wearing tonight, but I have worn today. So some of you might have heard me mention the Iris Poudre, which I've got this gorgeous mini. I meant to take a photo of it and then I didn't, so maybe I'll get a chance tomorrow morning. Elisa says, any perfume holiday shopping? I know, but I tell you what happened. I have done some shopping online this holiday because when I was at the airport on the way here, I finally got to retry Tom Ford Soleige, which I actually reviewed quite a while ago, like probably years ago. And I had a decant of it. I had a 5ml decant, and I really liked it, but I wasn't quite on board with the price of it. I didn't like it enough for the cost at full retail. So I kind of like forgot about it, you know, like you do. And then the few times I thought I wouldn't mind trying it again, I haven't really been able to find it, even at a Tom Ford counter. I can't necessarily see it. So I haven't tried it since that decant, which I used up quite quickly. And then I was at the airport, and there it was. And the airport, Gatwick North, has massively improved for my UK friends that are down south. Gatwick North used to be the shit one, in my opinion, but the perfume has really come a long way. They've even got the Gucci Alchemist Garden collection. They had quite a lot of high-end design, you know, like designer, niche designer kind of stuff, like the Tom Ford Private Blend. Trying to think what else, I can't really remember, but I found Soleige and I thought, okay, I'm gonna try that again. Put it on my, I don't know, put it on some spot on my skin, and walked through. Tony says that Tom Ford is gorgeous. Bex loves it. It is gorgeous. It reminds me a bit of Rolling in Love in some respects. So I walked away and I'm smelling it and I'm smelling it and I'm thinking, I really like this. And I ended up going back because I was at the airport quite early. So I walked back into the perfume department, and the sale, you know, when you feel a bit like sales assistants are going to judge me if I start spraying. But the sales assistant was trying to like sell stuff to someone else at Tom Ford. So I just like grabbed the bottle and doused myself in it. And then I thought, yeah, I really like this. I want a bottle. And initially I thought if I can find a bottle over here, and maybe it's a bit cheaper, maybe I'll get it. And then I went on Facebook on one of the groups, and someone pointed out an eBay seller that was selling it for a really good price, like 90 quid for a 50ml, and said that they'd purchased from them before, that they were a legit seller. So I just bit the bullet and thought, well, that's kind of like my holiday perfume present to myself. So I have a bottle of Soleige winging its way to me at the moment. There's another one on eBay, just in case Tony's feeling generous and wants to buy it for Bex. It's £90 plus postage. It's not too bad, if you know, but the only problem with Tom Ford is there's a lot of fakes about, so you just have to be really careful. But the seller did have 100% feedback, so there you go. But yeah, it does remind me a little bit of Rolling in Love. So it's musky, it's got that sort of ambroxan seed thing going on. It's got the florals. I don't know if it's tuberose, but it smells a little bit like the tuberose from Rolling in Love to me. I think it's got a few white florals. But it's a little bit unique. It's not just like everything else. And yeah, I really like it. It's something quite sexy about it. And I'm sorry that I'm a bit breathy, but it is the alcohol. And probably because it is a cheaper alcohol. The cheaper the alcohol, the worse I get, usually. Not always. Gin now, unfortunately. You know how I used to love gin. Can't drink it anymore at all because I'm really allergic to it. Got some funny stories about that as well, but I might have told you before. Anyway, just pouring one now. Yeah, sadly, I've got loads of bottles of gin at my house because I went on a bit of a spree. I wanted to get loads of different bottles, you know, different flavours. We just sat there gathering dust. Can't drink them because they make me blotchy. They make my face go red. Blotches all round here. Can't barely breathe. It's a bit silly, really. So yeah, I did have to quit the gin. It's just stopped snowing here, says Heather. Lizzie says Soleige was quite interesting. It reminded me of Snowy Owl from Zoologist. Okay, that's interesting. Because For Snowy Owl, there's something about Snowy Owl that was a bit maybe too green or something, but I see what you mean. It has got that the fluffy muskiness. I think that might be what it is, maybe. Right, so where was I? Yes, so today I did wear Iris Poudre. I think I might have a bit of a blurry lens thing, but anyhow, so yeah, today I wore Iris Poudre. I just poured it on myself. Probably only, you know, because when you dab something on or you don't spray it on, I don't think you get the performance that you normally would. So I did end up spraying over the top of it with the Mekong from TRMP, but I only bought this to make a pretty picture. I didn't really think it's particularly holiday scent, but I do like it. I don't love it. It's probably a bit too floral for me. Normally I like my florals with some sweetness, and this isn't a particularly sweet fragrance at all. It smells light. Now Eugene really nailed his review, and he said it smelled a bit like lilacs, and I totally agree. And I haven't looked up the notes, but I don't think they're listed, but it does have this sort of like lilac and lily and maybe even magnolia, you know, those kind of clean white florals. It's not an exotic or heady floral. It's yeah, it's like a big bouquet of florals, but nothing like a tuberose. You know, maybe there's a little bit of jasmine in there, but it's more like lilies, magnolia, lilac, just this bouquet. But it's also a tiny bit soapy, a little bit of iris, but I wouldn't call it's not iris as irisy as things like La Tessa from Musk Milano or Dior Homme. It's not as irisy as that. It's almost like it's not really so much about the iris as it is about the other florals. And then it's a little bit of soapiness, bloody aeroplanes, and yeah, like this cleanness. But also, and Eugene said like he gets like a sweaty note from it, and I do get something ever so slightly funky in there as well, but not anything that's ever going to put anyone off, or the average person probably wouldn't necessarily pick up on it. But it does have a hint, a little tiny hint of funk. Lizzie says I might have a glass of white. I think you should, Lizzie. Hilary is supposed to get 5 inches of snow. Nothing naughty tomorrow. I think just 5 inches, just turn it down hills. Tony says Bex said she researched about the alcohol and it could be something to do with the casks that they're stored in. Okay, that's interesting. I'm starting to need a wee, so I'm not sure whether to just quit or go for a wee and leave you to it. I've got one more perfume to talk about. How do you feel about me leaving you unsupervised? Do you think you can handle it? I'm going to have to trust you now. I'm going to have to trust you not to go away. I'm going to leave you with the palm tree whilst I go and squeeze a wee out. Go for a slash, says Liz. We'll wait. We'll be good, says Jim. Go wee, come back. Okay, I'm going wee. Behave yourselves, kids, okay? I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm back. Have you behaved yourselves? Let's have a little look. As long as you show the food. Yes, I will definitely show the food, Tony. We can all go grab a cocktail or a drink, says Mel. Heather grabbed a coffee. Tony grabbed a boob. Hope it was consensual, Tony. Yara's here. Hey, Yara. And Drawn by grabbed a chocolate digestive, no willpower. Well, you know, you got to treat yourself sometimes. Right, so you can see the light's fading now. I think the sunset's at 6:30. Same time here as in the UK. So we've got one more perfume and then we'll do the food, and it's not that exciting. So so the perfume we're talking about is, I talked about this one on Instagram, it's called Ruby by Akampara. And they sent me this little oil. It's just an oil, an essence, and they only sent a little tiny bit in there, so it's like didn't send me the full thing, but certainly enough to test it. Just put a little bit there, and it's not really the kind of scent you might think that you would bring to a warmer country, but actually it's great in the evenings. Alicia says worth travelling just for the extra daylight. Oh yeah, I mean, the first time I realised that it was still light and it was gone 5 o'clock, I was like, oh my god, I forgot about this. Such a bonus. It's so nice. So yeah, this Ruby, I haven't looked up the notes, but it's, when you first put it on, it smells a little bit like, you know, the strawberry creams from Roses. Yeah, Roses or Quality Street. Yeah, both really. So it's like chocolate and, yeah, chocolate and strawberry really. Probably cool enough in the evenings. Yeah, it is, like, you don't need a freshie in the evenings. It's cool. I need my cardigan on. So it's, yeah, and especially with the wind, so you could definitely wear what you want in the evenings at the moment. Yeah, so when you first put it on, you get like this chocolate and maybe rose and strawberry, excuse me. Then very quickly changes and you get a teeny touch, and I don't know what it is, but I get something slightly animalic. Reminds me of the animalic note in Jicky, for those of you that know that. I love this song. Probably been crying forever. Anyway, getting distracted. So I get this hint, and it's only a tiny hint, so it wouldn't bother anyone, I don't think. A hint of this animalic, which kind of just stops it from being a sugary, sweet, typical gourmand. And then as it wears, it goes a little powdery, musky, not mega clean, squeaky clean, but not dirty. Like, it sort of skirts between the two and retains some of the chocolate and the fruitiness of like the pink stuff, whether it's rose or strawberry, I'm not really sure. I think I prefer it in the eau de parfum form, because I like a fragrance that pushes out more, which an alcohol fragrance would do. This is more intimate, but I've been wearing it even during the day, just on my wrists, and just enjoying the little whiffs of this musky, slightly sweet, chocolatey, strawberry type thing. It's really nice. Here comes a bloody aeroplane. Heather, tried it years ago. How did you get on with it, Heather? I'm stalking the BA website since, oh, Bruno and Akampara says I want musk extract gold bottle. Okay, that sounds good. I was with a client, what fragrance are we talking about? As Heather says, a Ruby from Bruno and Akampara. I've got the essence, a pure essence here, so it's like it's an oil or an attar type thing. And I was just saying I would probably prefer it as an eau de parfum, because I think it would pick up more off the skin. And this is more, I guess, intimate. But then I know that Heather likes things to be intimate. Or we can ask Yara. It's just like being in that lovely garden in Ken. Yeah, the bloody aeroplanes. So that is all of the perfumes. Now the food, I'm afraid, is not a lovely fresh cake from the bakery. It's a rather manufactured, processed And all the supermarkets in Europe really have these pre-packaged various sort of like cakey type things. And this, it's not going to, I don't want to undo it because it will lose its freshness. And I'm not going to eat one now. It's got a little bit melty. So you've got this like darkish chocolate. So it's like a, not a profiterole. You know those chocolate eclairs? So it's like a chocolate eclair. Pastry's not quite as soft as a fresh chocolate eclair. It's a little harder. And then inside is custard. So I had one of these for my breakfast, which is probably not the most healthy breakfast one could choose. There's a picture there, as you can see, like inside you have this custard, and it's very generously filled with custard. And yeah, they're actually quite nice. Tony, I mean, as a cake connoisseur, I don't think you'd be mega impressed by these, but they're a good snack to have around, you know. It came in last night, and it would make a nice perfume. Yeah, it would actually. Chocolate, vanilla custard, and then the actual pastry case together. Looks like a donut, says Heather. I wouldn't call it a donut. It's long. It's long. It's not round, but yeah. Had one when I got in last night. Yeah, I think I did. Can't remember. But I had one for breakfast, and it was quite nice, to be fair. That was all I had for breakfast, so it's not like, it's not huge. I can show you the size of it against my head. But I've got these two left, and I find that when flying, it's good to have snacks in the bag, because I don't like paying for food on aeroplanes. It's like ridiculously expensive. It's just crazy. And you could have just had these snacks in your bag and paid 10% of the price. So I've got a big bag of crisps and these for the flight. Not that I'm going to eat all of them on the flight, but you know, it's good. It's good to have snacks for flights. I'm sure we all agree. It's about a 4-hour flight. Although sometimes buying food does break the flight up. It just makes life a bit more interesting. But I'm going to go for some brunch tomorrow before I get on the flight, so I shouldn't be hungry anyway. It's better than chocolate digestives want to swap, says Drawn By. Yeah, I don't mind, I'll swap. Heather says custard filling Long John with chocolate icing here. Snacks and movies are important on the plane. Yeah, no movies. It's an EasyJet flight. So, talking of which, that's not EasyJet actually. Can't figure out what that one is. Maybe I'll show you the next plane that goes over. Sounds yummy, says Tracy. Hey Tracy. Yara says I like it intimate. We know. Yeah, so what else can we talk about? Yeah, I guess don't you need internet, or do you have to download something? Yeah, I don't know. I could do that, couldn't I? Pesky jet. Yes. Next one that comes, I'll show you. You'll see how close I am to the airport, because it almost looks like it's going to graze tops of trees and hotels. It's so close, which is great because it makes getting home so easy. You can download the new Afterlife. Oh, is there a new Afterlife? Oh, I loved that. I mean, that made me cry. Okay, right, I'll try that. I've got to do my, that's the point, I've got to do my passenger locator form. Better do that quick before I'm sozzled. The new season is out and I blubbered like a baby. Yeah, I remember I watched the first one because a friend recommended it, and yeah, it was always quite beautiful, isn't it? It's like so touching. Right, I think I'm probably done. But I want to wait for one more plane so you can see. I haven't got any other good food to show you, I'm afraid. Yeah. So then I've got to fill in my passenger locator form, probably do a little bit of packing, and flights at lunchtime, 1:20, flying home. And I don't know what, I need to check what time I've got to be out of here by, but then all I've got to do is a taxi rank, or like a line of taxis just up the road, will take me less than 5 minutes. Drag I've only got one case, and it's like, you know, you take it on the aeroplane. What's for dinner? That's a good question. Don't know. I'm going to go out and I might go on TripAdvisor. I rely so heavily on TripAdvisor. I might go on TripAdvisor and see what's good locally. This place is, it's not like, you know, if you go to a big place like Playa Las Americas, you've got a strip of so many, you know, you got a massive amount of choice. Here everything's dotted around, so you got like one bar there, one bar 5 minutes from there. You might have a few bars in a row. So I don't know, I've already had 2 pizzas this holiday. Would it be wrong to have another one? Actually, that could be something you can help me decide, because the thing is, I don't like seafood, so the Spanish like paella and whatnot, so I don't really like any of that. Scott says, hope you enjoy your remaining time, Claire. Safe travels. Thank you, Scotty Bean. Yeah, so I need a yes or no. Should I get another pizza if I've already had 2 this holiday? Otherwise, last night I had a steak and Guinness pie at an Irish bar over there somewhere. Pizza's never wrong, says Jim. Get something you can't get at home food-wise. The problem is I'm really fussy, Heather, and I don't like the seafood, which is like the local thing. So, and I don't, you know, everything else is pretty much English food. So, yeah, I don't know. But do you know what's amazing is pizzas are cheap. They're like €5.50 in euros. I did pizza and a vodka and coke, and the vodka and coke was exactly the same price as the pizza. But there is a nice, where I got the pizza the other night. It's not too far from here, about a 10-minute walk, and it was busy, which is always a good sign. So I could try something else from there. But let me know, pizza, yes or no. I'm waiting for another plane now so I can show you. I can show you how close it gets. It's not that important, really. But anywho, I hope you all have a lovely evening. I might skip the plane because that's just not that exciting. I hope you all have a lovely evening, and I will catch you soon, very soon. Thank you for joining me. Bye. Thanks, Heather. If anyone wants to comment about pizza, speak now or forever hold your peace. Bye, says Alicia. Bye. Have a safe journey, says Tony. Enjoy your last evening. Thank you. It's a shame I can't show you a plane. But never mind. I just finished with some balcony stuff.